Welcome to my man versus bio video, and today we're gonna make a plant cell analogy and we're gonna compare it to the forest. Let's begin. You see this right here? It's a mushroom. It's just like the lysosome. Mushrooms, they digest and break down things in the ground, much like lysosomes break down unwanted particles from cells. So basically, a mushroom and lysosomes digest things. It's much like a lysosome because mushrooms, they don't break down the forest, much like lysosomes don't break down the cell. Now let me think. Mushrooms, lysosomes, mushrooms. They're very acquainted. They're pretty much the same. Now onto the next part. Alright, this right here is dirt. Dirt is also a part of the forest. Dirt is much like a vacuole in a cell. See, so dirt holds in like nutrients for trees because the roots take up the nutrients found in dirt. And also dirt it holds waste, like animal waste, like poop and stuff, you know, feces. So vacuoles, what they do is they pretty much hold the food, waste, and nutrients for a cell. And well, on to the next part. Alright, this right here is a tree. All the outer trees in a forest is much like the cytoskeleton in a plant cell. So basically, cytoskeleton makes the shape of the cell. Much like how the outer parts of the trees, they make the shape of the forest. Now, after this, we'll go on to seeds. So follow me. These right here are grass seeds. What grass seeds do, well, seeds in general, they make the plants and trees of the forest. Much like how in cell division, basically. So when there's a seed, it may go on to another part of, like, let's say Maryland, and it starts to form a big tree, and then the seeds over there start spreading around, and then it makes a whole new forest. That's pretty much like cell division. And cell division, let me think. Ah, yes, had a little brain fart, but they're much like centrioles, aka centrosomes. So basically, they help. So centrioles help with cell division, much like seeds help with forest division. Let's call it that. Now, on to the next part. The sun, well, you can't really see it, but it's much like mitochondria. Mitochondria is basically the powerhouse of plant cells. What they do is they store in energy and provide the energy given to the cell. And basically the sun gives the energy to trees, and trees pretty much work to help the cell. So the sun helps the cell, the sun helps the forest, and the forest is whole. There's also another part of the plant cell. It's the cell membrane. Well, right here you see those are dead logs and fallen branches. Fallen branches and logs in forests are much like the cell membrane or plasma membrane because it keeps things in. So the tree, it gives the cell its shape, but it's the logs, aka cell membrane, that keeps everything inside. If it wasn't for that, then all these leaves will come out onto our lawn and it will be one big mess. Now, onto the next part. So, the next part of the cell is the cytoplasm. So, the cytoplasm holds all the organelles together. Basically, gravity, this thing pushing us down that we can't see. It's the thing that keeps everything in check. If it wasn't for gravity, then the trees, the flowers, the plants, everything would be floating into nothingness. The only difference between gravity is that gravity isn't a fluid. If it was a fluid, we'd all be spiraling to who knows where. The planets wouldn't even be aligned, wouldn't even function correctly. So yeah, on to the next part. Yahoo! Ooh, I'm working up quite a sweat. Water. I can really use this. Speaking of water, water is much like cilia or flagellia for a plant cell or forest. So basically, this leaf would stay here if it wasn't for the wind or the water. So what water does is transport it, much like cilia and flagellia transport things through the cell. Now, on to the next part. Oh, there you are. I was just having a little dance party, you know, way to kill time. So, this time we're going to talk about Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is like a storage. It stores things for cells. Squirrels, they're pretty much like the Golgi apparatus for forests. What squirrels do is they gather nuts and stuff. I mean, they only help themselves, but maybe we'll find a different example. Like these birds. This bird right here. It also gathers twigs and leaves, but I mean, it also helps itself. So it's not really a lot like a Golgi apparatus really, but I mean, it stores stuff. On to the next part. Oh, don't mind me. I'm just taking out the trash.
Stop it, mister!
Oh no, it's the cops. Oh wait, no they're not. They're just lousy park rangers. Nobody cares about lousy park rangers. Did you pass?
What'd you say? Hey, don't make that! She'll make you shoot!
Oh no, I'm sorry. Alright. I'll put this down. No, I'm taking this. Why is it? Because I'm littering in the park. Yeah. It is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to go, you know. I'll go throw this out into my own home. I'm sorry, I was just raking the leaves. See, these are just leaves. I was just raking them. Okay? Alright, bye. Those lousy park rangers. Well, I mean, to be honest, they do help finish my video because they're much like the nucleus of a plant cell. Oh boy, do I hate them though, because the nucleus, it defines what things stay in and what things keep out. I got in trouble by the nucleus of the park, of the forest, my bad, because I was trying to take this in, but the nucleus didn't want that, so they took me out, they kicked me right out to the curb. So, but the only difference is that those park rangers right there, they're not always going to be there to see me. Now, let's see. Those lousy park rangers couldn't find me. You see, like I said, they're not entirely like the nucleus because they're not always around. A nucleus is like the center of a plant cell, but they don't even deserve their jobs. So now I'm just gonna, you know, take out my trash. Take out my trash.
Freeze again!
Oh no! It's those park rangers! What am I in for this time?
You're for loitering!
For loitering, you say? Well, I'm sorry.